Blog Talk Radio.
Yo, Bantam.
¿Cuál onda, Pelancho?
¿Qué es lo que está sonando por ahí?
Pardo vaina y que.
Acabo de llegar a mi país.
Suave, oye esa vaina.
Acabo de llegar a mi país. Uy, ¿y qué es lo que yo escucho por ahí? Rapeadores que están pegados, están sonados. ¿Cómo va a ser? Con puro ritmo baiteado. Acabo de llegar a mi país. Uy, ¿y qué es lo que yo escucho por ahí? Rapeadores que están pegados, están sonados. ¿Cómo va a ser? Con puro ritmo baiteado.
Ellos son pura copia, siempre fotocopia. El mismo ringtone, pero desde otro Nokia, enredando a la gente.
All right, welcome to the July 10th edition of the Jeff Mayweather Radio Show. I'm Jody Cohn, as always, joined by the guy the show's named after, Jeff Mayweather. How you doing tonight, buddy?
I'm good, and yourself?
Pretty good, just happy to be here. Tonight we've got a really good show. We're going to be joined by undefeated J. Leon Love here in just 1 second. He's on the phone, and then at the end of the show we have Leon Margules coming on, who's the from Warriors Boxing. They got a big event, Friday Night Fights, coming up this weekend. So first, let's bring him right in. J. Leon, you there? And how you doing tonight, sir?
Hey, how you doing, man?
Doing great, thanks.
Yeah.
How are things going for you?
Everything's going good. I can't complain. I'm healthy, living good. I'm all right.
All right. Well, you know, for those that don't know you, of course you're undefeated. You with Team Mayweather. Got a fight this weekend. A big event for you there. You'll be at Mandalay Bay on the undercard of the Conor Garcia fight there. So, tell us how your training week's going and what you got planned for the week.
Oh man, it's nothing, man. Just like I said, we just continue hard work. I've been in the gym putting in work since the Floyd camp, and it pretty much never stopped since then. You know what I mean? So we were scheduled to fight on the Berto Ortiz card. It didn't go through. So we just continued to train like we were supposed to. And here we go. We have to count down a couple of days left until the 14th.
Now, Jeff, you get to see, now that he's over there at the Mayweather gym, you get to see J. Leon Love, work a little bit. What do you think of what you've seen so far and his potential?
Well, I mean, he has a wealth of potential. I think that, one day he may be middleweight champion of the world. I mean, that's how high I think of him. He's very, very talented. I appreciate it, Jeff. I'll keep it real, brother.
Oh. Hey, J. Leon, just, to backtrack a little bit, just explain how you got involved. I guess all three of us are from Michigan. That's pretty cool. I'm from the mean streets of Walled Lake, and I'm sure you know about how tough it is there.
Yeah, most definitely. I've never heard of that place.
What's that?
I never heard of that place.
Walled Lake in West Bloomfield.
I heard of it.
Yeah, in West Bloomfield, yeah. It's pretty rough there, I'm telling you, man. I'm lucky to have got out alive from those places.
Yeah. I know better.
So anyway, you started over there at Kronk Gym. How did you get involved, with Floyd Mayweather, and tell us how that came to be?
Oh, man, well, it was a dream to move to Las Vegas to really pursue my career in boxing. So, I started off at Kronk Gym, you know what I mean? I had an extensive amateur background, fought at, numerous amateur tournaments, winning and, representing the United States in different duels and things like that. So, I had the experience, and I knew that, I really had to go to the right place to really, go forth with my career. And so I picked Las Vegas, and I've been here ever since. I got here in December, and, word got around that I was here. I first started at the Hit Factory when I first touched down, and, it was some good work there, but we had got a call that, it was a possibility that I would be sparring Floyd Mayweather at his camp for Cotto. So it prevailed, and that's what we did. So we started sparring him, and I've been there ever since. They liked what they saw. I'm actually not signed with Mayweather. I'm just in the gym putting in work. At his gym, it's so much talent, so much work down there. You know what I mean? So I'm glad to call it my new home.
Now, yeah, you kind of came, actually through your sparring, you kind of got to get known actually a little more. You started with, you worked with Margarito quite a bit, and then you worked with Floyd, as you said. So, it's a lot to be said, for sparring and putting good work, not just your fights necessarily.
Right.
And Jeff, did you get a chance to see him working with Floyd?
Actually, you know what? I was going back and forth almost every day with Big Country at the time, and it seemed like the only time I was there was when Floyd was sparring the African kid, and I seen him spar with young kid Cuba once. I never did get a chance to see him work with Jay Leon, but I heard that he gave him some good work.
And, what was it like, Jay Leon, working with Floyd, sparring with him? How was he?
Man, Floyd is the Michael Jordan of our sport, you know what I mean? So, the most talented guy to ever lace up the gloves. So, any mistake that you make, you're definitely going to be punished for it or whatever it is. It gives you some type of, it gives you this confidence, you know what I mean? If you can stick in there with the best, then you belong, you know what I mean? So, it definitely gave me a great confidence. But Floyd is amazing guy in and out of the ring, amazing fighter, we all know. And it was definitely a great opportunity.
So how did he treat you in the ring? And was he really rough on you, or did he let up on you a little bit, just kind of more work on his technique, or?
I'm gonna hold my own with anybody, you know what I mean? So he dished out good work. I dished out good work. It was really good work. I know, I seen him spar other guys and really punish guys, stop guys, you know what I mean? So no, I didn't get the bad end of the stick like that, but you know what I mean? It was definitely great work.
Now, Jeff, you train a lot of guys, obviously. What's the benefit of a guy like Jay Leon or one of your fighters or whoever getting to spar with, someone of Floyd's talent?
Well, don't get me wrong. It's an upside and it's a downside. Like with Jay Leon, in which I heard myself that, he really gave Floyd probably the best work out of everybody that was in the camp with him. And with that being said, when it happens in that way, it takes your ability to another level. And because you realize that, like he said, I belong here now, and I know that I can fight with the upper echelon guys. But there's also a reverse side to that. Sometimes you bring a young fighter in, and you think that it's great to have him work with Floyd. No. Sometimes Floyd ruins fighters. A young undefeated fighter can be ruined by Floyd because they'll take every ounce of confidence that they got, and they don't believe they can fight at all. And not only that, the damage that he'll do to them. Because when Floyd's in camp, and sometimes it's like really, really, when you're really in his groove, people think that he can't punch, but he's very, very accurate. And, in most cases, he can land shots that, that will affect you. And like I said, a lot of young undefeated fighters, that's the first thing they want to do is say, well, I want to get in there, I want to test myself against them. But for some young fighters, it's the worst thing that ever happened.
Very true. That is true. So true.
Are you still with us?
Yeah, I'm still here.
No, I'm talking about the host. Where he at? Oh, my. Yeah, this man is messed up again. I kept this. Your show.
It's his show, so he messing up.
Maybe it's because he lives in Bloomfield.
Oh, man, that's what it is. He's in a good part of Michigan. Hey. He not, he got that good service.
Yeah. He got no service now.
No, yeah. I got disconnected, guys. Sorry about that. Hope you carried on.
Oh, my God.
It happens, man. I apologize, guys. I'm not sure what I missed, but, Jay Leon, just explain, what's the atmosphere down there compared to, your Kronk gym before, Hit Factory. So how does the Mayweather gym stack up, and how do you feel there?
Man, I feel great. I feel very well, and I belong, like I say, it's my new home. You know what I mean? I feel comfortable there. You know, coming from Detroit, Crunk Gym, I came from the original Crunk. And so, you know, you had a lot of talent, a lot of big punchers, a lot of big names, you know what I mean, coming from that gym. So, you know, shouts out to Crunk Gym and all the young fighters coming up out of that gym. Man, you know, it just, you know, it's a world of talent, man. You walk in that gym, you never know who's going to walk in behind you. You never know who's going to come down for work. It's always great work, you know what I mean? I worked with a Jeff guy, another guy that's a great fighter coming up, and so many other young fighters and the amateurs and things like that that's definitely giving good work. So it definitely sits high on the bar at one of the greatest gyms.
You know, that's the one thing I've noticed. You know, I've spent obviously by far most of my time in the Mayweather gym, but, you know, Jeff, you can speak on this. The one thing I really noticed at Floyd's gym is that it's not like a bunch of, you know, guys, you know, trying, you know, there's not a big rivalry or people getting each other's faces, or, you know, it's almost everybody's real supportive of each other, and you know, a bunch of cool guys for the most part, not, you know, not there to, you know, put anybody else down and, you know, look good at other people's expense. Jeff, I mean, is it pretty typical of most boxing gyms, or you think that Mayweather gym just has a really good chemistry going right now?
Well, I mean, I think the gym has a great chemistry because, I mean, I don't think that no one's in the gym that has animosity toward one another or anything like that. And I think that everybody's in there to help one another. And, I mean, to even take it one step further, then Jay Leon would actually, he would actually know exactly what I'm talking about because the guy made a comment on Facebook. He made a comment about Jay Leon trying to emulate Floyd, trying to be this, trying to be that, so on and so forth, and he ain't going to do nothing or whatever. And, I mean, and it is like the whole gym, everybody that comes to the gym, you know, made comments to the guy, you know, in behalf of that situation, you know, and everybody, you know, positive feedback about Jay Leon being able to, you know, carry his own and hold his own against anyone, and you know, and not only that, and even myself, you know, like I said, I mean, I honestly believe that one day that, you know, he has all the potential in the world to be champion, and you know, and I made that known to the guy that made this comment. So, and I mean, you know, then you had other guys, like I said, you had other people from the gym, I mean, that rallied behind us. Everybody just rallied in and just, you know, and everything was positive. You know, everyone was nothing but positive feedback about Jay Leon.
Right. So tell us, you know, you got the fight coming up this weekend. Is this going to be your biggest venue? And, you know, how does it affect you getting to be on a big card, you know, here at Mandalay Bay?
Man, I fought on a lot of nice undercards, you know, HBO undercards, you know what I mean? But this is my first one in Las Vegas. And, you know, it's every fighter's dream to come to Las Vegas and fight in the big lights, you know what I mean? Even though I'm not a headliner or anything like that or a co-main event, it's still a dream come true because I know that, you know, I'm getting closer and closer to my destiny, you know? So, like I said, man, we've been working extremely hard in the gym, day in and day out, you know, running, doing everything we're supposed to. So I want to definitely, you know, show the boxing world that, you know, Jay Leon is the next best thing in boxing, you know, and that's what it comes down to, just definitely showing out, you know, showing my ability, showing, you know, that my young strength and everything else that comes with it, you know, on the 14th.
Now, Jeff, how do you handle someone like Jay Leon, who's, who's got a lot of talent up and coming, but he's going on a really big venue on the big stage for the first time in his career? I mean, is it a difference in the way you approach that, or you just try to, you know, tell him it's the same old, same old?
Oh, no. I mean, believe me, one thing is this, is that as a fighter, I mean, the only thing that you got to worry about is the other guy coming out the corner. I mean, and as long as you're focused on that, everything else is going to take care of itself. I mean, because it makes no difference. You can fight in the worst venue. You can fight in the biggest venue, you know. And, I mean, as a fighter, that's not your job to where you fight at. It's your job to be prepared for the fight and, you know, be at your best. And so, I mean, I don't think that has a big, you know, a big difference or a big effect on anyone.
All right, Jay Leon, tell us, I mean, the guy you're fighting, I know you're going to give the PC answer here, but, you know, you're fighting a guy, Joseph De Los Santos. a guy that you're expected to take care of. I mean, obviously you treat every opponent with respect and know that you can lose at any time. But I mean, what do you know about him? And his record was 11-9, I believe, just light power. So how do you go about facing someone like that and making sure you don't overlook him? And what do you know about him as a fighter?
Well, actually, it's not too much to find on the guy. We actually looked all over, for videos and things. We actually reached out to a couple of guys that actually, were previous opponents and things like that. So we kind of just got, a little information on him. But a guy like that, you don't know, period. I take every fighter serious. It doesn't matter if it's a losing record or winning record. They can have 2 knockouts. This is boxing. You know what I mean? Guys come to fight, now that, and you got to take care of business. So, like I said, we had trained extremely hard. And, we don't overlook nobody. This is boxing. The guys that get overlooked are the guys that surprise you. You know what I mean? So, we taking care of business, and we're going to come in, we're going to be dominant, and we're going to do what we've been doing in the gym, put all the hard work into use.
Right. So, just, Jeff, explain the differences. Like he said, there's hardly any video footage on a guy. So when you're training for an opponent that you don't know, as opposed to somebody there's plenty of footage. What's the difference in how you approach those fights?
Well, the one thing is this: is that when you can't actually get, it sometimes it's good to have footage, but a lot of times it's not good for the fighter themselves to actually watch the footage anyway. Because one thing is this: just because the fighter, what you got to look for as a trainer, you got to look for the fighter, his habits, what he'll do in every fight. Not what he did against this person or that person, but the things that he do that are habits that, that you can capitalize off of. And, the one thing, though, is still, like he said, that you got to be ready for, no matter what a guy's record is, you got to be ready. And the most important thing is that you got to assert what it is that you do best. That's what you got. That's what you got to bring to the table. You got to bring whatever it is that you do best, and that person has to make the adjustments, not you.
Right. Well, Jay Leon, anything else you'd like to add? I mean, it was great having you on. We wish you best of luck here this weekend. Tell us where the folks can follow you on Twitter, Facebook, all that good stuff.
Oh, yeah, man, I appreciate you guys having me on. It's always a pleasure kicking it with my man Jeff, and you. So, you can tweet me or follow me on Twitter at 2012JLove. And I'm on Facebook. I comment and talk to everybody, talk a little junk, you know what I mean? Just having a little fun. So definitely reach out to me, and I appreciate all the boxing fans. Without the boxing fans, boxing wouldn't be where it is today.
All right, Jay Leon, we appreciate it. And best of luck to you this weekend. We'll be watching the fight.
All right, thanks a lot.
All right, take care.
All right.
All right, that was Jay Leon Love, and we're going to keep it rolling right along here. Next, we're going to bring on the president of Warriors boxing promotion, Leon Margules. You there, buddy?
Hey, how you doing, guys?
Great. How you doing? You're on here with...
Good. Can you hear me okay?
Oh, yeah, we hear you good.
Yeah,
Jeff Mayweather here with you, and I'm Jody Cohn. So thanks for joining us.
Jeff, how you been, buddy?
Good, and yourself?
Good. Jeff and I have been many places together in the old days with Sultan, remember?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. We went to
Well, you've been around.
Yeah, well, Jeff was...
Well, you got to give us the story then, Leon.
Well, Jeff was a trainer of Sultan Ibragimov, and Jeff was instrumental in making him a WBO world champion, heavyweight champion, and so we got to travel a little bit and had some great fights while he was champion. I really enjoyed it. Now I'm in Chicago today, Jeff. I'm promoting Glenn Johnson's fight Friday night, so we're out here promoting the ESPN show. Just for this Friday night.
Yeah, I was gonna say. For Friday night fights on ESPN this weekend on Friday night in Chicago. Yeah, tell us about the card. Who you got on the card?
Well, we're calling it Crossroads because the both televised fights feature young local fighters from Chicago against well-known legendary fighters towards the end of their careers. You got Glenn Johnson fighting Andre Fonfara, and you have Jose Luis Castillo fighting Ivan Popoca. So it's kind of really a true crossroads fight because you got two young guys with good records, up-and-coming young guys in their mid-20s from Chicago, fighting the two older veterans who people are anxious to see what they have left. And so we're very excited about it, and the Chicago fans have really picked up on it. We're expecting a big crowd.
Yeah, let's take that one fight at a time real quick here. First, there's reports Glenn Johnson kind of hinted that if he doesn't win, this might be his retirement fight. Do you see it the same way? I mean, do you think he's serious about that? And what do you think his chances are in the fight?
Well, Glenn's never had. This guy's a pretty good young fighter, but Glenn's really never had problems with these kind of up-and-coming guys. He would always bounce back against these kind of guys, and then he would get a big fight. So I think Glenn would be disappointed and would probably take a long look at his career if he wasn't successful, because certainly I would think that if Glenn is a shell of himself, these are the kind of guys it was just a couple of years ago when he took apart Yusuf Mack. A lot of people were claiming that was his demise, and he went and knocked him out on ESPN. So Glenn has always bounced back against these kind of opponents, even though this kid's a young, talented guy, but relatively untested.
Yeah, Jeff, what do you think? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Finish, Lance.
No, that's it. I want to hear what Jeff thinks.
Yeah, I was going to say, Jeff, we've talked quite a bit about Glenn Johnson in the past. He's lost a few of his last fights, but, it's not like he's, losing against anybody. He lost against, Tavoris Cloud, Butte, Chad Dawson, so he's not, losing against nobody. So, Jeff, I mean, what do you think about Johnson, where he's at right now?
Well, the one thing with Johnson is that, he was getting older, so you never know what Johnson's going to show up. But the one thing is this, is that no matter which one shows up, he's going to come in here, he's going to give it his all. He's a guy that, he brings his lunch, he brings his lunch to work, and he's always ready to go. And, I really like Glenn, because, he is truly a road warrior. And like you said, all the guys that you just named, are basically guys that are either top contenders or world champions. And, anything beyond that, Glenn usually has no problem with. So,
and remember, 2 fights ago, he was in the semifinal of the Super 6 against Carl Frost after he knocked out Alan Green.
Yeah,
I know, Jeff, you've been around a long time, and you know how hard it is as you get older as a fighter to drop weight. Most guys, fight at a bigger weight as they get older. Here's a guy after 10 years, and even as a world champion at 175, comes down to 68 successfully.
Right.
So how do you see the fight playing out, Leon?
I think Glenn will break him down and ultimately stop him, I hope. But, again, the guy's untested, and whenever you got an untested guy, it can be a springboard for him. And he can show us he really is a lot better than people. He's kind of an unknown kid from Poland. He's a good, strong, big kid, so we'll see. But I think these are the kinds of guys that, Glenn has had no problems with the past, and unless Glenn is older, he's 43, but unless he shows his age and breaks down, I think he should beat him.
Yeah. All right, well, then in the other fight, you have an up-and-comer, a new guy, Jose Luis Castillo, and he's got like 4 or 5 fights, I think.
No. Jose Luis Castillo's halfway home. You're being facetious. Yeah. The guy who everybody's wanting to see whether he makes weight, right? Everybody wants to see what his weight could have been.
Well, that's a guy there, like you said, he's been around a long, long time, and, ton of fights, and he's really only lost to, some of the biggest names, other than earlier in his career. He's lost to Floyd a couple times, Diego Corrales, Alfonso Gomez,
a lot of people, I know Jeff will disagree with me, but a lot of people have said that if you look at Floyd's career, the one fight he might have lost was to Jose Luis Castillo. Certainly Floyd's closest fight of his career.
That's what people, that's what people say, But there's also a situation also where Floyd is so dominant that when Floyd finally starts to get hit by anyone, I mean, people start to give the other guys some more credit than they deserve. You know, and that's what happened with the Cotto fight as well. I mean, people started talking about Cotto won. Cotto lost. Cotto won 3 rounds. But, you know, it's
Cotto fight was totally clear that Floyd won. I think that the Castillo fight was a little closer than that. But I agree with you.
Like I said, I mean,
Floyd won both fights.
Yeah, but it's like I said, it's just one of those things. And I know Castillo real well. I know him really well. And I just feel that at this point, it's really time for him to pack it in. You know, I mean, he just doesn't have it anymore. I mean, so, I mean, with him, it's a totally different situation than Glenn Johnson's situation. Because Glenn Johnson is a guy who's always in tip-top shape, you know, and always ready to go to war and do whatever needs to be done, you know, to make it a fight. But, you know, I mean, as of late, I mean, you know, it's been really, really tough even watching Castillo. You know, and I mean,
I can tell you that he is in terrific shape. And we had an open workout, a media workout today, and he weighed 47 after the workout, and he was supposed to the fight's at 48. So I think that he is in pretty tip-top shape. He probably knows this is his last chance on television if he doesn't win.
Right.
Yeah, just tell us real quick, Leon, in the last couple of minutes we get here. Tell us about the opponent, Ivan Popolka, what you know about him. I know he's a local guy from Chicago there.
Ivan Popolka is 17 or 18-1. His only loss was in a pretty grueling fight on ESPN against Prudnikov, the Russian Banner Promotions fighter. I forgot his first name. Ruslan Prudnikov, the 140-pound guy. That's his only loss. He got stopped in the 8th round, but it was a pretty good all-action fight on ESPN. That's his only loss. He's still relatively young, 24 years old. And, you know, and it's an interesting fight for him because he's fought his total career at 140, and he's fighting this fight at 48 to take on the aging veteran. An interesting fight. Again, you know, it's an older guy who a lot of people think are washed up, but he wants to give it one more shot against a young up-and-coming fighter who wants to prove that he belongs on the world stage. So it's pretty compelling Friday night fights. So we're excited about it.
All right, so Jeff seems to think that Castillo's done. Do you disagree? Is they want more running in him, or does the upcoming guy take care of business?
You know, I don't really know because I don't know Castillo as well as I know Johnson. I haven't been Castillo's promoter. This is the first fight I've worked with him. You know, Johnson, I've been his longtime promoter. I know him well. And certainly I think in the last couple of years, Johnson proves he still can fight and hang in there with the very best. Castillo hasn't, so he's got a lot more to prove. But he's 4 years younger than Glenn, but Glenn is a younger 43 than Castillo is 39, I think.
All right, we just got a little over a minute here left. So, Leon, I really appreciate you joining us. Again, you know, tell the folks what they need to know about the fight, where they can catch it, and that kind of stuff, and your Twitter, all that kind of good stuff.
Well, if you're in Chicago, it's at the UIC Center, and there are still a few tickets available. And if you're not in Chicago, it's on ESPN, Friday Night Fights. I think the broadcast is 10 o'clock Eastern Time, 10 o'clock Eastern Time, 9 Central. And, and I think they tape it for the West Coast, don't they? I don't know what time it's on
I think so.
On campus. Yeah.
Well, I think we'll get it at 6 or 7.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think it's early.
Yeah. It's. Right. I mean, we got a big crowd coming. We've already sold more than 4,000 tickets. It's a good size. It'll be a lot of fun.
And they can check you out on your website, warriorsboxing.com. And what about Twitter?
www.warriorsboxing.com.
All right, Leon, we really appreciate it. Love having you on. You and Leon Love, we really appreciate it. What's that?
Thanks for having me. Jeff, I'll see you soon, buddy.
All right, get you back anytime. Really appreciate your time.
Okay, buddy.
All right, that's it. Again, check out our website, ProBoxingInsider.com. Appreciate J. Leon Love coming on. Check out his fight this weekend and also Friday Night Fights, Warriors Boxing. We had Leon Margules here. Thanks to everybody, and we will talk to you again next week. Jeff, take care, and thanks, buddy. Why?